Okay, so other people who were listening to that, I'm looking to capture it in 3 or 4 words. Are we talking about, it seems to have an overlap with training. If you're talking about temporary communities that come together and then disappear again after they've you know, completed one particular task, or do you have a suggestion about how I could capture that quickly?
I think most of these communities will, by their definition, be temporary, and that we might need to start accepting that as okay.
So we'll put up temporary communities. All right, so, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I think related to that is this idea of whether it's the sort of systems that we're talking about or knowledge sharing and knowledge management, how do you, when it's no longer one-way communication but many-way communication, how do you make sure that that data becomes knowledge that's in front of the person that needs it whenever they're making a decision or they're trying to do something? So that whole problem of signal and noise and putting the right information in the right format for the right person when they need it.
And in addition to that, one of the things that we talked about was the ICT for emergencies wiki, that it's an ability to a location that's a centralized location across different organizations that come together that focus on ICT. It's something that that I know many people within the political organizing community within the United States are starting to work on and starting to take a look at formulating those best practices, something that you have these ad hoc communities that come together, but then they pass along their best practices in this residual document that's constantly updated by those ad hoc communities that come forth in the future.
Okay, so as I heard it, that has something to do with retaining, like given that we've got all these temporary communities, these training communities, these people that come together around something that may be reiterated later but amongst totally different persons, how do we retain what they've got and put that forward in some kind of useful way? This one's not working, is it? Okay. Is that what you meant?
In short, yes, but specifically through the concept of a wiki, the format that you can actually track the iterations and the innovations that are going on within those particular ideas and those concepts in documents, and you can track through all the different revisions, but then you can also see the most up to date.
Okay, excellent. Do you want to grab the mic for a sec? I got something to write. So.
Well, I think the word or the phrase communication for coordination needs to get up here. It's somehow an umbrella of some of the other points as well, but it's not just training and games. We've said that had a purpose to really galvanize and coordinate people together in the preparedness phase before an emergency even took place. So if we can have that larger idea up there, I think that would be communication for coordination.
Excellent. So we've got more than we have any chance of digging into before our kind of colleagues arrive here. Okay, go ahead. Let me pass you this mic.
Thanks. I think that what Chris said is really important to take into account, because the temporal nature of the group here is a different group of people than I've ever worked with before, but the exact same problem. Every conference we have is, how do we get all the information that everybody knows that isn't sharing onto a wiki, and let's all get behind this wiki and let's update it with all the latest technologies. And I think that based on 6 years of conference going experiment in ICT for development, 4 classes I taught, it doesn't work. Meaning that none of the current technology approaches we're taking, be it Wiki, Twitter, Facebook, none of those work because I don't know what the answer is, but we're applying the wrong, we're either forming the wrong problem or trying the wrong solution. And so I think we need to think about is the problem we're trying to solve correct? Do we need static data somewhere or wiki data somewhere? Or is that fundamentally not the right solution? And that, because this is the same concluding thought we have every single time we get together.
I was trying to think about the same problem, and it seems like a social networking problem where if somehow there were a purpose-built social network that we all participated in so that the temporal community that we've formed here that exists in space for only a short period of time could exist in internet space and have other members join it as they feel like joining it, and then it aggregates information. I don't know if that's a potential solution, but a wiki seems too static. And Twitter, depends on who, by chance, connects to each other. So neither of those solutions seem appropriate.
So just to add on to that, I mean, I know my personal problem, and it's a fault of my own, is that after this, and with every other conference that we all go to, it's after this, then the real life comes back, and we've got a million other things to do, and so we'll pick the one or two things that make sense for us that we need to get done anyway. We'll find the 3 people from the conference who are doing those. There'll be 4 great ideas that we committed to and discussed that would just get dropped because everybody gets too busy, and that might be okay, Jonathan. I mean, I think, and that's sort of, maybe it's a different mode. Maybe we don't need to capture the community as such, but because it's never worked. I've never seen it work well.